My name is Phil Rudlin. I'm the Wildlife Ranger for Forestry England based in the Wyre Forest, site of special scientific interest, particularly for butterflies, and more recently it's now become the largest woodland natural nature reserve in the country. I just love being out in the woods. I work alone in most cases, me and my dog. But you can't get tired of seeing the wildlife within here because it's always very, very different. You never know quite what to expect. It's always there to surprise you. In the heart of the forest itself is Dales Brook, which runs through the centre of it, and from there we have a lot of wetlands, bogs, a lot of heathland, more dense woodland, young scrub. Forest has always been man-managed. Back in the Victorian times it was very intensively managed with pit props and charcoal and things like that, and since then we like to think there's been a lot more sensibly managed. There are over 30 species of butterfly found in the Wyre Forest and surrounding area. And in particular is the pearl-bordered fritillary, which we're very famous for, as it's been a declining species across the country for many years, but Wyre Forest is one of its main strongholds now in the Midlands. The main habitat for a lot of the butterfly species that we have here are the wide open spaces, heathland. We have our forest roads. The right edges are basically those on the edge of that, and we keep them around about 30 metres wide. The butterflies need the sun, they need heat, so the more we can keep it open and connected is very, very important. So we have 3 species of deer in the forest. Historically it's been fallow deer, muntjac, introduced into this country in the late 1800s, and we have now had roe deer move into the area, which are our only native species. Roe deer have moved into the Wyre because over the years the management has changed. We've actually started to thin it quite dramatically and open it up a lot more, and this has created a lot more scrub habitat whereby the actual deer can hide and thrive in. Did a lot of the regeneration of scrub that benefits an awful lot of other species. We have a woodland bird survey carried out every year, and it is showing that a lot of these habitats have actually improved dramatically over the years. The more variety of species and habitat you've got in the forest, the much more you can actually sort of protect it in the long term. By putting your eggs all in one basket, it could be disastrous in the future. Climate change does seem to have an effect on particularly animals and creatures that are hibernating. We have found certainly with reptiles that they don't go into hibernation until later and they come out earlier. So although Wyre Forest itself appears to be a very large woodland, and it very much is, people should still stick to the trails and the paths that already exist. Dogs should be kept under control or on leads. The wildlife can be constantly disturbed, and what we're finding these days is actually that disturbance is escalating, certainly into early mornings and evenings now. You've got to remember that actually that there's an awful lot of wildlife out there that don't always live in there, night and day. You may not hear or see them. I like to think that what I do makes a difference by creating and maintaining the variety of habitats within the forest, gives a niche for many, many species of animals and creatures to live and thrive.